Y'all know what time it is. Y'all all know what time it is. It's about time that we do that thing. You know, that fun thing every Tuesday and Thursday? Yeah, here it is. Tuesday. What up, guys? Canada fam, everybody out there. It's your host, Chef Rodney 117 from Deliciously Dope. Welcome back to yet another edition of Daily Chronicles, y'all. Today, our guest is a pioneer of sorts. His beard will absolutely tell you that he's a mountain man, all right? He's the madman behind, Vermont Grow Coach, that huge scene, and Coaching Goats is his new project. Without any other further ado, I'm going to let him really introduce himself, y'all. Thomas from Vermont Grow Coach. What's going on, baby? How you doing?
Hey, Rodney. Thanks for the introduction. I definitely appreciate it. It's great to be on the show today with you and Eric here. I definitely find it a pleasure, and I can't find anything better to be doing at 10:17 on a Tuesday morning. Except,
Absolutely.
my issue with OCD. So, you could have changed that time for me, at least just this one.
I mean, but at the same time, it's kind of iconic. I've always had great things happen at 10:17 in the morning. It is. Eric, how you doing today, baby?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, Chef?
I'm about to be better in about a couple minutes after I put this son of a bitch in my mouth and take a toke on it.
All right. Let's get that.
So how was you guys' Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was good. Got to see family, got some good food.
Thomas?
My Thanksgiving was absolutely amazing. I actually made some infused pumpkin pie, and someone who had never tried any edibles before took a nice big chunk and spent the rest of the evening as the entertainment.
That's fair. That's a good sacrifice right there for the team, if you will. Eric, I gotta say this wedding cake is pretty baller. Oh, there he goes. Hang on. Hey, he's back. Look at that. Magic.
Sorry about that, y'all.
You're all right. This wedding cake's pretty baller. All right, Thomas, do me a little favor. Let's tell the listeners out there, the fans of the show and stuff like that, a little bit of who you are and what you do.
All right, awesome. So my name is Tom. Some people call me Coach. I am the owner of Vermont Grow Coaching, as well as a co-owner of Coaching Goats Homegrown. So I'll talk a little bit about Coaching Goats first. It'll be a little bit quicker before I jump into Vermont Grow Coaching, because there's a big backstory behind Vermont Grow Coaching.
Let's hear it.
So with Coaching Goats is Vermont's first cryogenically cured cannabis. So we are cryogenically drying and curing our cannabis so that it is ready to be consumed 24 hours from the time it is harvested from the plant. This retains about 90% of the terpenes that are otherwise lost during the drying and curing process, and also makes the buds, in my opinion, look a hell of a lot more prettier because they don't end up turning brown or shrinking in size. They do end up being less dense, but in my opinion, density has never really needed to be in the bag appeal aspect to begin with. A good plant has nothing to do with bag appeal. A good plant has nothing to do with density. It has to do with cannabinoids and terpenes found in the plant. So with that said, we do everything that we can to try to make those plants retain as many terpenes and cannabinoids as possible. It makes the high a lot different than your standard high. You don't really feel as couch locked as you would normally with an indica. You can still definitely sleep with one, but you don't actually feel that crash at the end of the high.
Yeah.
For me, that's amazing because I started using cannabis as a medicinal benefit. So that actually brings me into Vermont Grow Coaching. So a little over 10 years ago, my mom came to me and she said, I'm using the dispensary for my kids, and it's not working.
Okay.
The stuff that I'm getting on the black market, is working way better in the dispensary.
Right.
Help me.
Right.
And I looked at her and I said, why the hell are you even talking to me about this? I don't believe in it. I don't agree with it. You know this. Leave me be.
Right.
I had grown up in the DARE era. So I had Officer D'Esposito coming in once a month, playing cards with us, you know, shooting hoops and saying, marijuana's bad. Cannabis is bad. Don't do drugs. And
okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, exactly. And at 12 years old, I remember waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to being asked to come out and fix the computer, to a party on a school night. And it's my mom and a whole bunch of her friends, and they're all drinking and they're all smoking cannabis and everything. And all I can do is barely stomach the smell as I'm out there to teach them that all they have to do is press the little button to turn on the monitor. Now, in a 12-year-old's mind, especially in a 12-year-old mind that actually cared about school and did everything that he could to get straight A's, being woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning on a school night to come out to turn on the monitor, and all you can do is smell the smell of skunk everywhere.
Because your mom's too big to figure out how to turn it on.
Right, exactly. So it's between the DARE program and that, I was like, no, it's bad. No way in hell, not going to happen. Nope. I actually was on the opposite end of the spectrum, and I was actually in your shoes and started out in the chef industry. And by 17, I had moved out on my own and was running a kitchen, and a recruiter had come to the back door of the kitchen looking to recruit me for the military. So that night after work, my boss said, well, if you're old enough to be recruited, you're old enough to drink. Here, have a drink.
Yep.
And at 17 years old, would sit every day or every night after my shift and have several drinks, to the point of where I ended up being extremely overweight and an alcoholic by the time I was even old enough to drink. Now, when I say extremely overweight, I topped out at 296 pounds. Now, I'm not a super tall guy. I'm 5'9". Let's call me 5'9.5". Give me that half an inch. But I was 296 pounds, so I was huge. I was ginormous.
Right.
And we'll jump ahead to when my mom comes to me with this issue, and she says, you know, the dispensary is not working. Help me. And I had to put my own opinions and feelings aside at that point.
Right.
Because she wasn't willing to try other options. So I went ahead and I said, okay, I'll do what I can to help. So I had some buddies that I knew were in the black market portion of the industry. So they were actually able to get some of the dispensary product tested for me.
Right.
And it came back positive for mold, as well as considerably lower in concentration than it said the product was. Not for just the flower, but also for the edibles as well. Products that they were saying were 25 milligrams were actually only 5 or 6 milligrams a piece. So when she's supposed to be taking 100 milligrams 4 times a day and was only taking 12 milligrams 4 times a day, it wasn't working for her. So after I had those tested, I'm like, okay, well, what do we do here? She said, well, you can become my caregiver and you can grow for me. I said, well, Mom, you know,
fucked up now.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, I did the farming thing, Mom, and, you know, I grew up doing the farm thing, but it's not my thing. You know, I work in an office, you know, I'm a 9-to-5 guy, not my thing. And she says, please, Tom, I need your help. Okay, Mom, I'll do what I can.
Yeah, what do you do then?
So I decided to run indoor because, in my opinion, every time I had ever, you know, conventional farming practices back in the early 90s when I was taught to farm, it was always chemical-based. They were always putting fungus or pesticides and everything on crops. And right off the bat, I knew at this point in my life, okay, I may not have been farming for the last 20 years, but I know enough to know that that was bad, the way that I was taught to farm originally. And especially if I'm supposed to be making a medicine for someone, I should be staying as far away from the pesticides and the chemicals as possible.
Agreed.
So we tried indoor growing, and I ordered some seeds online, and the seeds came in, and the breeder info said 500 grams per meter squared, 1,000 grams per meter squared. And I'm like doing the math. I'm like, oh, sweet. We're going to get you 6 ounces out of this. You're going to be great for several months. We'll be fantastic. You'll be set. And ended up with under an ounce.
Oh, shit.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
And she was pissed. She wasn't pissed at me. She was pissed that she still had to go to the dispensary.
Right.
So I'm not one to give up. So I tried again, and I tried again, and I tried again.
Yeah,
and eventually I freaking got really good at it. And I realized, wow, not only does growing this for her help her, it helps me. I wasn't using it at the time, but just growing it was helping me. I realized I had a lower levels of stress and anxiety.
Yep.
That it gave me an actual reason to stop by and say hi to mom.
Yeah,
that's always good, right?
Right. And overall, just the smell of the terpenes and the smell of the plant itself, once I found the strains that actually ended up being the strains that I would start to work with myself, just smelling that plant could just make the day better. And I mean, that was amazing. So
you're telling me that you smelling terpenes changed how you felt.
Absolutely. In fact, that's one of the reasons aromatherapy works. I would go even one step further and say, if you were to walk into a dispensary today and they have 10 options on the counter, you shouldn't ask to look at each option. You shouldn't be looking at the THC percentage. You shouldn't be looking at the funky runch name or the wedding cake name. You need to open that jar or ask them to open the jar and hand you a bud and smell it. Give it a squeeze, let the aroma come out and smell it. And smell a few different ones. There's going to be one that's going to jump out at you and it's going to say, oh my God, this is fantastic. And it may not be the sweetest one. It may not be the most flavorful. And I guarantee you, it's not going to be the one highest in THC by any means.
Nope.
But when you find it, your body knows.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the reasons I actually developed GMB 77, which is Green Mountain Boy 77.
I've had that. I've had GMB 77. And I'll tell you this. The drive to get it was phenomenal, okay? Gorgeous country, very barren, like no one around because, you know, COVID, it is what it is. That GMB 77, let me tell you, okay? Thomas, you do a goddamn good thing, okay? Smelling it, oh man, you know what I'm saying? It was it was haunting me, sir. It was haunting me. It was one of those things where it's like you smell a really good cologne or you smell something just really like, for me, I also love the smell of wood. I'm Nordic, man. I mean, many people know that, but you know, I'll go into someone's house and be like, are you doing a new construction? They're like, yeah, how'd you know? I was like, I can smell that wood. You know what I mean? I love that because like, I don't know. It's just something about it. You know what I mean? And these are, again, wood has terpenes. It's a tree. You see what I'm saying? You're always going to get that smell. These things are natural. Think about it. Dogs do the exact same thing. Well, funny. They also have an endocannabinoid system. So there's something more to that we're discovering, yo. This isn't just, yo, let's blaze this and get blasted. No, it ain't about that. All right. You're absolutely 100% right, Tom. And I'm absolutely glad that somebody else out there sees this besides just me and Eric and the people that we talk to, because that's what you're here, dog. You know, you're here to help educate and help get rid of that, that stigma, because real talk, you are living proof. This actually helps. Just the smell alone.
Yeah, and like with the terpenes and all that, like in Japan, the doctors will prescribe like walks in the woods because they know the whole aromatherapy, the terpenes and other things that are coming out of the trees, every single plant.
Botanical garden, yeah, exactly. They'll say go take a walk in the garden. Go spend some time with the plants today. I actually know an herbal doctor, and that's one of the first things that she mentions to any of her patients. I'm not you're not really interested in trying the tea. Oh, you don't really want to try smoking this herb. No problem. Just go take a walk in the garden. Go sit out there and read a book. Sit with the plants. Smell the lilacs. Enjoy the aromas because it's therapeutic in all aspects. But it's funny that you mentioned dogs too, Rodney, because when it comes down to it, you can actually even just give your cannabis stalks right to your dogs. I do it all the time.
They love it.
So because the THC hasn't been activated yet, it's not going to get them high, and it's only going to provide them medicinal benefits. And
here's an idea for you, Tom. I want to stop because I've been meaning to tell you this, and I hate to interrupt you, but I'm going to give you something if you're not already working on it. So, you know me. I come up with dumb ideas all the time, but they're just so crazy and they might just work. We're watching one of them. The point is, how about you should figure out a way not to cryogenically freeze this, but to preserve it so that you can ship it to other states. Because if you take a good-sized cannabis tree and cut it into chunks like they do deer antlers for dog bones, then, not cryovac it, but, seal it like you would, in a bag or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, cryovac it and then mail it. You can make a killing off that. Do you understand how many people would actually buy these? They do it for deer antlers. There's a huge market for sheds and stuff like that.
So I'm actually working on it right now. The last hiccup is just liability. So unfortunately for smaller dogs, these stalks, when you chew on them, can break up into small shards. For larger dogs, like anything a beagle or bigger, no issues at all.
Yeah.
But I've never tried feeding one to a toy poodle, and I don't think I ever would because the risk of it getting caught in their intestines or something is just too much. So that's the one part we're working on right now. If we can find a way to market a small dog product as well as a large dog product and make it that way, it's definitely going to be marketable very soon. But until then, I'm pretty much providing hemp stalks free to anybody that's in the area. Whenever I've got some extra on hand, if anybody wants to stop by the office or give me a shout, meet up with me in Rutland County area, I'm always willing to give them hemp stalks to feed to their dogs. I always just request that they make sure that they keep an eye on them their first few times to make sure they don't have any issues with them.
Hey, Tom, I know hemp has the longest fibers. So especially with the small dogs, some of those fibers separating and possibly wrapping around intestines, things like that. Yeah. What about cutting them into small chunks for smaller dogs?
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Or using some of the smaller, flimsier stems, possibly just the stems that are just thinner as well. Because even if they have the longer strands in them, I don't think the strands would continue to elongate as well. They wouldn't continue to extend as long as they would on the original stock.
I got a question. Okay, check this out. We have endocannabinoid systems. We smell, specific cannabis plants. Oh, that smells good. That's the one I want, right? Okay. Dogs, they know their territory, endocannabinoid systems. Y'all, this just went off. I just had an epiphany, okay? Cats had it right the whole damn time. Here they are laying around and what they think is marijuana, getting higher and shit, and then just being baked and soaking in the sun and then being pissed off and hungry later. Yo, Cat's been doing this the whole time.
It's funny because they also have they shared something with the catnip plant. There's a small amount of pesticide value, so meaning for bugs in their fur and stuff like that. I think that's one of the reasons why they really like to roll around in it. And same kind of thing with the cannabinoid system with us. And I know catnip will make you sleepy. It's a nighttime tea for humans, but like you said, it works. It seems like it works a little bit differently on their system, kind of how a lot of animals have evolved to have the endocannabinoid system. So I'm wondering if there's a little bit of evolution there with the cats as far as stimulating them because it's overall possibly good for the cats.
That would definitely make sense. I mean, I can see why. I've never seen a dog attack catnip the way a cat does, so I can definitely see, them have some sort of a catnipinoid system.
Yeah, and there's a couple different plants.
Or what's the catnip equivalent to cannabinoids?
Yo, I bet you secretly those bitches knew. Don't let them lie to you. Those little bastards. See, okay, here's why I don't like cats. First, I'm allergic to them. I'm allergic to just cats in general. Some cats I'm not allergic to. It's weird, but for the most part, like 95% of cats, I'm allergic to them. I'll take an allergy pill. I'll go to my friend's house. It's not a big deal. Y'all have cats. That's fine. I hate the little bastards because of this. Cats can see into your souls like the Egyptians would say and stuff. If you happen to notice, a ginger. I don't have a soul. So when a cat looks at me, they're confused as shit. Okay? They're like, what is this demon doing in my house? And then they'll just like straight, give me that, yeah, I see you. Why are you on my couch? You know what I mean? They don't like it when I'm in their hood. They just don't. They're like, who's this? Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
You know that the Norris, the Vikings collected orange cats?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because it went with their nice orange beards and stuff, but any ports where it was like common for Vikings to port on, there's a higher population of orange cats around those areas.
Oh, absolutely. And then there's those big Norwegian fluffy cats, and they look awesome as hell. Okay? Not going to deny that. And again, if you like cats, awesome. That's great. I'm allergic to them, first and foremost. Secondly, when they look, no soul, and they're just confused. And I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? My bad. But at the same time, there are some cats that will have that stare off, and then we'll both get high. He'll go roll in his nip or something like that, and then I'll smoke a joint, and we'll come back, and we're cool. Just get high. That's it.
Yeah, most of my cats like cannabis too.
I'm allergic to cats too, and when I say I'm allergic to cats, I mean that's what I've told my kids every day that they've ever asked me if they could get a cat. Yeah. If we go over to a friend's house, I don't get the sniffles, but I'm definitely allergic to cats.
Someone doesn't like cats. Yeah. So typically right about now we would be doing, segments of the show. The segments are really good, you know what I'm saying? And I dig those, but I don't want to do any segments today because I want people to really get to know who you are and what you do. Now, as I've gotten to, work with you and see you on In the Weeds podcast, you guys can check out Tom, Joe, and Tim all on the In the Weeds podcast every Wednesday at 4:20. Definitely check that out. It's a hell of a show. They're doing an awesome thing there. You guys go show them some love for sure. Now, being able to work with y'all, I can definitely say that you're putting time into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of, sorry, my phone keeps shutting off, and I don't want to deprive anybody that's watching, through that outlet. So it's like, damn it, time to get a new phone. Anyways, I definitely want to help get the word out there for what y'all do. Tom, Vermont Grow Coach. These stickers are badass. Everybody wants one. Mainly, exactly. Yeah, we could just that's exactly why. He just dances across the nose. That's awesome.
Got some bracelets too.
Oh yeah. Look, I'm wearing mine right now. Look.
Hey Tom, where can we pick these things up?
So I actually wanted to bring that up because a couple of months ago I put out a little teaser that I was going to be releasing some GMB 77 seeds, and I have since changed my mind on that. Sorry, everybody. But I did do a GMB 77 blueberry cross. And when I say blueberry cross, I mean the true blueberry, the original blueberry from DJ Short.
DJ Short,
yeah. So this genetic is phenomenal. A lot of people don't really care for the blueberry because it's not too high in THC. I think the cut I have comes in at between 11 and 12%, give or take. Definitely not a high THC strain, but it has phenomenal flavor, phenomenal terpene profile, and just a fantastic entourage effect. So I thought it was the perfect match to try a first cross with the GMB 77 strain that we've created at Vermont Grow Coaching. So I actually am now happy to announce that in the next few days, I will be posting on both Instagram and Facebook how you can obtain a free pack of feminized blueberry crossed with a GMB 77 seed.
You heard it.
And anyone that ends up getting one of these packs will also get a free bracelet and a couple of free stickers.
Get it.
Anyone that's interested in stickers, that doesn't end up winning a pack of seeds, just shoot me a message and I'll send you some stickers anyway. I'm not stingy.
Oh, dude, and they're awesome. They're primo stickers. Yo, if you're in the Lansing, Michigan area, check it out. Okay. Let me know. I got you covered. Okay. Come get at your boy. We'll get you some of these stickers. I've got business cards too. Call this bastard. He loves answering his phone. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, if he doesn't answer his phone, he will call you right back. This kid is busy as shit right now.
And if you are not in the Vermont area, it's perfectly fine if you're in Michigan, Illinois, anywhere. As long as you're somewhere where you can legally grow cannabis or legally grow hemp, as long as I'm not going to get in trouble for teaching you how to do it where you're located, we can do virtual consultations too. We can Skype, we can Zoom, we can do whatever this platform is we're on right now once I figure it out. It's all super easy. And there's subscription plans and stuff as well for people that would rather just send email questions periodically as desired. So we can set you up on an email subscription plan too if that was something you're interested in. But there's options for everybody from bare minimum, helping you start your seeds all the way to processing techniques, different end game results, helping with plant diagnostics, edibles, etc. Pretty much anything you're interested in doing, we've either tried it or are willing to try it to help you get there. We do stray away from a couple of different areas, mainly whichever ones are illegal to us currently. Those would mainly be like hydrocarbon extraction, such as BHO.
Right.
We can do ethanol extraction, but rosin is definitely preferred because, I'm the organic guy, so I got to go solventless as much as possible too, even if I lose a little bit of yield.
Right. I mean, and most people get that. So what I'm hearing is this, y'all. Homeboys, like, listen, if you're hurting, let me know. I can help you, heal you. Each one teach one. You can tell just by his ethics and motives behind what he's saying right here, yo, this helped me, so I'm going to help you. Pay it forward kind of vibe. And that's what we need to get more into. That's why, I take a lesson from almost everything that I see. It's information. I love information. I love learning. There's nights where I consume cannabis to go to sleep because I can't turn my mind off. It literally can fix things when it needs to, when it's appropriate. All right. So check this out. So let's say you're having a lot of breathing problems. You can actually take CBD flower, mix it with THC flower, with CBG flower, and the dry herb also known as what? Mullein?
Mullein, yes.
Yeah.
It's a good one for the lunch.
Put it in there, mix that up into a cocktail, roll it up, smoke it however you would do actual cannabis. Because check it out. The mullein helps you breathe. Okay. So does the THC, so does the CBD with inflammation and everything like that. The CBG is going to help encompass all of that and have a more lifted entourage effect. That's what we mean, y'all. You can control how you heal. It all starts, like Tom is a brilliant point of this. It all starts by smelling it. Seriously, Smell your flower. Okay. If you go into a shop and that shut off again. Sorry, guys. There it is. It's not even that. Okay. So my high ass. Sorry.
Mullein flower right here.
There you go. Go get it. Where can they get that?
I actually want to touch base on the mullein flower because I actually love both the mullein flower and the mullein leaf.
Yes.
In fact, for anybody that's listening in the Vermont, New York, upstate, northeastern Massachusetts, Maine area, drive down the side of the road, look up on your phone what mullein is. Take a look out in the field. Don't grab the ones that are right on the side of the road. They salt those roads. There's dirt. There's nasty chemicals on those plants. You don't want the ones that are 6 feet off the road.
Off a little bit.
If you see some that are out in the field, 100 feet out in the field, unless there's a posted sign, the farmer's not going to care under most circumstances if you go out there and snag a few leaves. I'll take mullein leaf and I'll dry the mullein leaf. And when you take it in your hands, you roll it up in your hands, it becomes almost like a fluff. And you take that fluff and I mix it 50-50 with cannabis. That way you can have a larger joint, enjoy your smoke longer, and conserve your cannabis while at the same time helping with issues of asthma and helping to help export phlegm and stuff from your lungs, because the mullein works fantastic for your lungs in that respect.
For me, it's like a sleep time aid too. I noticed since I've been using mullein for the last few years on and off, smoking it and in teas, that I get tired. Like, I didn't put it together at first, but I kept being like, man, I smoked, but like I'm just so tired. And then I put it together. The mullein is also a very calming herb too. And you can find it all over the place. You know, you can find it. That one was at like a Spanish or like Mexican store, but you can find them in most, like, if anyone carries like bulk herbs, your health food stores and things like that. But like Tom said, like, go take a walk in the woods, like go down that edge of the woods, you know, where it's meeting that field, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yo, and the same thing with, like, you know, Ramson mushrooms, y'all. Seriously, there's so much. It's delicious. I've made, okay, real quick, is a little off topic, but it's foraging, so it is what it is. You guys need to look into foraging. Foraging is absolutely a great way to have additional mushrooms, to get medicinal benefits that, you know, weren't or aren't available with, you know, modern medicine, if you will. These things are actually true. You know what I'm saying? Like with lion's mane, it's a great, you know, right there, boom, mushroom.
Lion's mane, right here, actually.
Right there.
Wild forage, lion's mane, wild forage, maitake mushrooms, right there. Yep. These things are everywhere in the woods too. You just gotta look.
Yeah. You go to the store to buy these. How much are they?
Maitake mushrooms. Actually, the mushrooms aren't like too expensive. Like lion's mane, maitake mushrooms, you'll be able to find for like $20 a pound and stuff like that. But shiitake mushrooms,
$20 a pound.
Like,
go walk in the woods, which we've already discussed about is already good for you, right, guys? Okay,
yeah,
go walk in the damn woods and look for this stuff. It'll save you a little bit of money while you're healing. You know what? And the best part, take a joint with you. Watch what happens.
And mushrooms is like a sensitive subject, you know, like it has a lot of like lore behind it, and like people are afraid of mushrooms because of misidentification and stuff. But pretty much no matter where you are, I'm guaranteeing you there's going to be anywhere from 5 to 7 gourmet or medical mushrooms in your area that are easily identifiable without any poisonous lookalikes. So, you know, you start with 1 or 2 mushrooms that's maybe specific to the medicine you're looking for or something.
Get used to it.
Gourmet mushrooms, whatever, you're just looking to incorporate them in your diet because they all are medicinal. Every mushroom, even the button mushrooms in the grocery stores. But just some have higher medical value. So
we do homeschooling, and that's one of the things that we actually touch base on too is foraging and proper identification. And it's always, if you're not 100% positive, you don't even pick it up. You don't bend down to touch it if you aren't sure. You know, so we've got plenty of white mushrooms in the area that look just like death caps. We've got the death caps too, but there's plenty that look like death caps that I can tell when I look like those are definitely not. You know, we may have a couple here or there, but this patch is acceptable to pick and consume. But the kids, because there are so few differences between them, they know, okay, if it's white and it looks like it could be a death cap, leave it alone and move on. And then they go on to find, you know, the shiitakes, the waxy mushrooms, et cetera, whatever else they may find up in the field. And as long as I give them the okay that it's edible, especially the youngest one, she's 8, she'll just dive into whatever you give her the go ahead. She'll give anything a try.
Hell yeah! Just make sure that when you're foraging, take it home first and wash it off because the deer may have peed on it.
Yeah, wash everything off.
Yeah,
or bring a bottle of water with you.
Or
if you don't want to get out in the woods and find your own, mothersinfusions.com. We'll be putting this up here soon. I just got the labels and everything made for them. It's Mother's Herbal and Mushroom Immune. It's got some CBD in there too.
Oh yeah,
so 2 fluid ounce bottles. It's totally full of some good mushrooms. You know, you got the maitake mushrooms, reishi mushrooms, shiitake.
Is that the stuff that you gave me?
Artist conch, turkey tail. Yes, it is. I got the labels and everything on them. And cordyceps mushrooms.
Now, is that alcohol tissue based or MCT based?
This is an alcohol base. It's a dual extraction. So you got an alcohol extraction on the mushrooms and the herbs, and then I also simmer it for. This went over 10 hours for a simmer because that's how you get all the polysaccharides out of the mushrooms.
Okay.
So you got to do a dual extraction if you want to get the full medicines from the mushrooms.
Right.
Especially
as you know, I used to be a drinker for a number of years. I've been sober going on 6 years now, no alcohol at all. So I'm really sensitive to alcohol things. I can handle that tincture, but it's not an issue. You can smell the alcohol, absolutely, but I can take it no problem. And honestly, it's effective.
Yeah, with all this COVID and stuff going around, cold and flu season, amping up the immune system was something that was important to me, and something that I think was missing from the whole 6 feet and face mask, protect yourself and your immune system. That wasn't really mainstream.
I love that you're taking CBD and incorporating other medicinal plants into an infusion like that, because in reality, there's so many companies out there marketing CBD isolate, CBD isolate, CBD isolate. And, it may work for some people, but for most of us, the isolate on its own, it's not enough. So the fact that you're taking, your CBD and adding in the benefits of the mushrooms as well, I absolutely love it, because I also know a ton of people that could benefit from the benefits of mushrooms, but also hate the taste and the texture of mushrooms. And I'm sure with the alcohol tincture, there's a little bit of a mushroom taste, but it's a heck of a lot less than having to actually take a mushroom and chew on it and try to enjoy the texture and the mushroom when you're not that type of person.
I mean, there's like ginger, turmeric, oregano, and a couple other things that kind of like a mushroom soup is what I like that Chef Rodney said. Mushroom soup with a little dash of some booze in there,
Yeah, that's exactly what it tastes like.
So I even just dilute it in my water, and it cuts because it's a stronger taste, so it cuts that taste a little bit. I know citrus is really good, which also works good with mushrooms. If you mix it with some lemonade, something like that, you're really not going to taste it much. Brian from Redemption Cannabis says he likes it in his coffee.
Yep.
It sounds absolutely fantastic as it is. I mean, personally, I love the taste of mushrooms and the texture and everything. So my wife is not that type. So she's the type of person that she can deal with a little bit of flavor, but if it's got any sort of mushroom texture to it, she's not having it. So for her, she might want to dilute that in some coffee or something. But for me, I'd probably just take that straight. It sounds phenomenal.
I'm a mushroom guy too, and I'm all about the flavors of medicines, because also a lot of people don't realize when flavors, terpenes, other things touch your tongue, it affects your system as well. When black pepper touches your tongue, hydrochloric acid starts to stimulate it's getting ready to digest proteins and other things like that, and carophylline is also found in black pepper. It's one of those terpenes where it's a calming one,
Yeah, so if you're ever freaking out and having a panic attack because of too much weed, chew black peppercorns. It'll calm you down.
Yes, yep. That's actually an old trick, what I've heard from some old timers to get too high.
Yep.
Get on some black pepper.
Mm-hmm. My grandma. All right, this is a good one. You guys will love this. So, if you ever got a headache near my grandma, she wouldn't reach for the aspirin bottle. Wouldn't do that. Okay. She'd reach into her freezer, and she always had vanilla ice cream because she fucking made it, and it was the best I've ever had. But I should have figured out how to do that from her, but I digress. So she would take freshly churned French vanilla or vanilla ice cream, and she would put black pepper, freshly ground black pepper in it, and stir it up, and then have you eat it. And I shit you not, within 10 minutes, your headache's gone.
Wow.
It sounds so weird, and it always to me never made any sense until I started smoking weed, and I was like, wait a minute.
For me, I dealt with digestive problems for a long time in my life, and something that also would help me is black pepper as well. That whole hydrochloric acid thing I said, you don't have enough acid in your stomach or you have troubles digesting things, 1 or 2 peppercorns, chewing them up will definitely help with digestion as well. So
there's so many things that have been lost over the last 100 years that our grandparents used to use as remedies and not go for a bottle on the shelf, that have just been lost. Yes. I remember my grandmother used to make her own fish liver oil, not necessarily cod liver oil, but just fish liver oil from fish that we had caught. And if I was sick, grab that brown bottle in the back of the fridge, Tom. Oh no, Grandma, I'm not sick. I promise. I don't even have the sniffles. I'll go to school. I promise.
Yeah. I remember one day, my grandfather is a good guy. He's a great guy. But I remember one day I was sick, and he had come over to the house. He was a retired truck driver, so it is what it is. But he came over to the house, and I was sitting. He goes, "Hey, come here. We're gonna fix that real quick." And he smoked cigars. He gave me a black cup of coffee. He found my mom's Jim Beam, shot a Jim Beam and a cigar cutters, and a lighter, and an ashtray in the table. And he goes, "Sit down. You're gonna drink coffee with me." I was like, "Oh shit!" I didn't know what that meant. What it meant was he's going to make me do that shot. He's going to do a shot. We're both going to drink a cup of coffee, black, straight. I'm 13 years old, and we're going to chief down a cigar. I felt sicker and shit because I didn't know you weren't supposed to swallow or inhale the smoke. So there's that. But after I puked my guts out, from all of that and having this shot at Jim Beam at 13 years old, I felt better because whatever was happening, well, it only went one way. So desired effect, right, I guess. But the point is, yes, there are old remedies and things that we need to bring back, okay? I'm for those who personally know that I'm old school as shit. I've always been told that I have an old soul, and that's fine. But fact of the matter is, this is healing people. I'm done with pills, y'all. That's just me personally, not saying to not take your medications and stuff like that. What we were saying instead is to know what you're trying to heal and then go, from that. So if you want to know more about the endocannabinoid system, reach out to us. You know what I'm saying?
Too often you go to the doctor and they say, "Oh, you have this ailment. Okay, take this pill." They don't look at the root of the problem. They don't try to help solve the issue at its source. They just try to heal the ailment. And well, just because it's a symptom doesn't mean it's the problem. So you're in essence covering a symptom. And, oh, well, now that pill that you're taking has now gone and given you some other symptoms or some side effects. And then you go back to the doctor and say, okay, now this is happening. So they give you another pill for those side effects. Yep. And it's a vicious cycle when really a lot of these people could just benefit from healthy diet and exercise. Stop going to freaking McDonald's and Burger King, put down 240 grams of sugar soda, that you pick up every day, go for a bottle of water or some juice or something,
right.
There's so many better options out there.
Absolutely. So speaking of helping people heal, y'all, we got to talk about our friends at Mary Palmer. They're not just killing it in the game. They're winning, awards. Now, I know they're close to your neck of the woods. They're in Boston. That's decent. That's closer to, you than I am.
Yeah, they're about 3.5 hours away.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I go to them for specific questions. I go to you for specific questions. And all of us involved understand that, hey, that's fair. I go to you for growing questions and cryogenic questions and things like that. And I go to them with like, all right, cool. This is what you're doing too. So it's just like, variety is a spice of life.
Absolutely.
That being said, I made a little something for them that I kind of want to debut right now. Well, here it is. What up, y'all? It's Chef Rodney 117 here from Deliciously Dope's Daily Chronicles, bringing you an answer to one of the biggest questions in the cannabis industry today. Who is Mary Palmer? Mary Palmer is an award-winning CBD company out of the Quincy, Massachusetts area. They're 50% veteran-owned and 50% woman-owned, so they know what it's like to absolutely be able to deliver a superior quality product with their consumer and community in mind. Check out www.whoismarypalmer.com and use promo code DELICIOUSLYDOPE to save 10% off of your order. Also, make sure you check out myself, Chef Rodney 117, and Eric Eating of Mother's Infusions on our show, Deliciously Dope's Daily Chronicles, every Tuesday and Thursday at 10:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we sit down with some of the top people in cannabis today, introduce them to y'all, and really break down how this plant can heal us. Until then, I look forward to seeing y'all there. Chef Rodney 117. Have a good one. That was cool. Yeah, no, Mary Palmer, y'all check him out. Check out Roken Vapes, Magic Butter Machine, Vermont Grow Coach, and his newest little ditty, if you will, Coach and Grow. Or is it Coach and Goats?
Coaching Goats.
Yeah.
Yep. A friend of mine, his nickname is Goat. So I wanted to make the animation or the logo myself as coach, and then a picture of a goat next to me, but he didn't want to be represented as an animal unless I was going to be represented as an animal. So I guess fair is fair, I suppose.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So Coaching Goat, Vermont's first cryogenically cured cannabis, as a subsidiary of Vermont Grow Coaching. So you know that it's backed by the knowledge of myself and my team, which I actually wanted to touch base again on, because I was actually I started telling the story of helping my mom with the caregiving thing, and never finished that story. It actually led down a bad path for a little bit. Oh no worries at all. I just figured people would probably want to hear the end of that story because it gets better.
Absolutely.
So as I continued helping my mom, I got better and better at growing, and eventually she came to me and she said, "Well, I have this friend that needs help too. And she's a patient, so can you go be her caregiver?" Sure, Mom, no problem. I'll go help her out. And then she's like, "Oh, well, I have this other friend who's also a patient. Can you go be her caregiver?" And before you knew it, I was helping 5 different people. Well, for those of you that don't know the laws in the state of Vermont, you're only allowed to be a caregiver for 1 patient.
Oh.
So unfortunately, that led to me getting into some trouble. Because at the time I was naive and I was just like, oh, I'm a caregiver. I can help these people. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Right.
And I got into quite a bit of trouble. So I went before the judge, and the only thing that ended up getting me off was the fact that there were no scales or bags or anything on site that otherwise would have indicated.
No intent to distribute.
Right. So no intent to distribute, and they weren't providing me anything as payment. So because I was doing this free of charge, and because they were keeping all of the medicine, the judge instead said, so I'm going to let you off, but you need to go and get X amount of people to become caregivers to help these other patients.
Right.
So I went and at the time got some buddies together and said, hey, I need you to do this. I'll teach you how to do it. I just need you to do it for me.
There you go.
And a few guys got together, and they started doing that for me. And I then, at that point, hemp was starting to get big in Vermont. So I had a couple of hemp farms hear about what I was doing for these medical patients. And I thought that was amazing, just hearing that I had started my own little network. I wasn't making any money doing it, but people were starting to realize who I was even before recreational cannabis became legal in Vermont. So after helping out those first couple of hemp farms and hearing that recreational was going legal in Vermont, I'm like, okay, we're going to go for it. You know, we're not going to have sales for several years, so let's build on Vermont Grow Coaching. And I reached out to all these guys that had helped me with the other patients, and they're like, oh, yeah, let's do it. And then a week before legalization day, I had a booth set up at the Heady Vermont event, and one by one, they dropped out. Sorry, dude, I work for the police force. Sorry, I work for the hospital. Sorry, I don't want my kids to find out. Everyone had a different excuse. So next thing you know, it was just me.
Oh, man.
So what should have originally been Vermont Grow Coach, if it was just going to be me, ended up being Vermont Grow Coaching, because it was supposed to be a collective of myself and other growers.
Right.
So with that respect, when legalization day came around, I went full bore into the recreational industry as well, which actually helped increase my medical patient volume considerably, because at that point, as recreational becomes legal, I could legally teach and charge to go out and help people grow. At that point, I was able to start charging a small fee to medical patients that was a considerable discount over what recreational patients or recreational consumers were being charged.
Right.
But it allowed me to reach so many more medical patients. And when I say a small fee, I'm talking like it barely covered my gas and the food while I was gone to go out there. But it helped me feel good, because I was helping so many people. And when legalization day came around, for me, it wasn't, oh, yay, people can smoke pot. Woohoo, let's go get a joint. No, for me, it was, oh my God, this is my way into helping more medical patients. This is my way into helping more people understand that this is a medicine and that they need to grow it this way, or that they can't do this with it. They shouldn't be putting pesticides on it, etc. And that for me was just phenomenal, to the point of where I was doing a lot of stuff for free and giving discounts and stuff for just like, oh, you smiled at me today, here's a discount. And although that's a fantastic way to maintain clientele, it's not a great way to run a business. And my wife made sure to make me aware of that when I suggested the idea of quitting my full-time job. So when I suggested quitting my full-time job to go full bore into business, she said, well, you know, we're going to let this happen, but you need to make a deal with me. Unless there's a specific reason that someone needs a discount, the only discounts are for veterans and medical patients, unless it's some sort of sale or something. I'm like, that's fantastic. Works for me. And once I started doing that, I realized that by charging more to the recreational clientele, I was able to start offering more for free to the medical patients. And to me, that was amazing, because I'm like, oh, this is great, because now I have the extra time, the extra money, and availability to drive up and do a class just for medical patients. Oh, you have your medical card? Great. You get into this class for free. Oh, you don't have your card? Okay, $5 and you can come sit in on it anyway. That $5 covers taking care of the venue. I do the show for free, and everybody leaves with more knowledge than they started with. So there you go. What I've been doing over the last few years, you know, hasn't brought me in a ton of money, but it's helped a lot of people. And that's really what I'm all about. You know, I want to be in this industry until the day I die. I'm not going to retire. You know, I'm going to be 80 years old teaching people how to grow. That's how it's going to be.
And that's what it's supposed to be like. You know, doing it, and that's what it's supposed to be like. Everything, you know, when you do something like what we're doing here, we're all pioneers. We're all each one teach one, like I was saying earlier. You know, we're doing it for another type of green. It's not about the money. You understand? It's about, because there's really no money in it. People are like, there's so much money. Yeah, there's really not. You understand? If you have enough money to get into cannabis to make a bunch of money, see point A. You had enough money anyways. You see what I'm saying? For all three of us here, you know, we weren't born with silver spoons in our mouth. We weren't born, you know, with a personal loan of $1 million from our mommies and daddies. You know, we had to help our own parents, you feel me, or help ourselves, or we went through issues, or shit has happened. Point is, we have been through real life. And that being said, we fully have been healed, not fully healed, but we have been, you know, awoken to being healed through the endocannabinoid system with this plant. And it's helped us so much that we're like, yo, let's give forward. It's just the same as a person becoming devout in a religion and becoming you know, a missionary or something like that for a church or something. You know, I'm not calling it a religion. It's not a religion, but it's very similar too.
It works with your spirit as well. The cannabis,
absolutely.
I feel strongly. It's a medicine that also works in the physical that we normally think about, and it's something that you know, I think needs a little bit more, like you said, like a religion. It can be a type of spiritual enlightenment for some people to feel the effects, you know, of certain medicines. I think it goes beyond that.
I can definitely say that personally for myself, if not a religion, I definitely see cannabis as a huge spiritual benefit to myself and those around me. Even if they're not the ones consuming it, just me consuming the cannabis, putting myself at mind, putting myself in a better state is going to help those around me too. So I grew up in the church. My uncle was a minister. I was baptized and everything. But I don't go to church anymore, and you know, I'm definitely not going to get into what I believe in as far as God or gods or whatever that may be. But I am going to tell you that as far as cannabis was concerned, it was put here on this earth for us to consume.
No, there's pictures of the Egyptians using cannabis.
And when it provides the medicine that it does, and as well as the euphoria, and then just the additional everything that it does for your body as a health benefit as well. You know, helping with your diet. You know, it helps break down additional fats even in your system. You can put hemp leaves or cannabis leaves into a smoothie in the morning, and you're putting additional omegas and B vitamins and stuff into your system. There used to be a group of monks that could survive on 2 tablespoons of hemp seed, 1 fruit, and 1 vegetable serving per day.
Oh, man.
And they lived fine. They were definitely on the skinny side, but they weren't weak. They were perfectly healthy because those hemp seeds have enough omegas in them, and they have enough B vitamins in them. They have enough in them to actually help keep you going throughout the day with very little else.
2 tablespoons is 1 ounce. Hemp is a third protein. So that means that's like 10 grams of protein a day just in 2 tablespoons.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
And I also see a lot with cannabis as far as people in service, like yourself, helping other people, like giving services as much as you can, you know, and then obviously on the side of incorporating a business into it so that you can serve more people. I see that a lot with the cannabis plant, and that's something with, you know, religions around the world is, you know, service of the people. So I think like it helps bring people together and helps us like want to help each other, you know.
Absolutely. And I think there's actually a big reason for that, at least in the cannabis industry. For me personally, I think a big part of it is just prohibition in general and the war on drugs. You know, knowing that this is a medicine and understanding this is a medicine, and then going, well, nobody's been allowed to do this. Oh, now you're allowed to at least have a little bit of leeway. Well, let me help you the best that I possibly can while also getting myself off the 9-to-5 desk job staring at a computer screen all day. You know, and that's just amazing. And like where you mentioned with the 10 grams per 10 grams per ounce of hemp seed, that's fantastic. Because what's that? The same amount as like a 6-ounce steak, and then the steak you end up you may get some other benefits along with steak, but you're also putting a whole bunch of additional fats and everything into your system. And personally, sure, you know, I'm not a vegan, I'm not a vegetarian. I'll eat meat from time to time, and I love a good steak, but is amazing. And I will choose hemp and cannabis over meat for a meal any day. If someone says, oh, hey, do you want this 4-ounce filet, or do you want a couple of tablespoons of hemp seed in the yogurt? The filet may taste better, but I know that yogurt with a couple of teaspoons or a couple of tablespoons of hemp seed is going to be better for me right then, and 3 hours down the road when I'm either A, in a food coma, or B, bouncing around with my kids, listening to music and playing games.
It takes a lot of enzymes to break down red meat. That's what a lot of people don't realize. So those same enzymes that break down those red meats in your stomach also break down pathogens, cancers, other things that happen in the body. So, you know, if you're spending all day breaking down meat, then you only have a limited amount of enzymes with how much vitamins, minerals, and other things that go into building those enzymes and what your body can produce.
Absolutely. I absolutely love the hemp seed just in general for everything that it does for you. The fact that the enzymes actually, even anything that they might break down as far as the hemp is concerned, it takes a lot less than it otherwise would for something like the red meats or the fats, the candies, the heavy sugars. Yes, the cancer-feeding sugars, I try to keep those out of my house, but I have 4 children between the ages of 8 and 15, so it doesn't happen. So I just do my best to make sure that I don't indulge, and I let them indulge as little as humanly possible.
Yeah. The little systems seem to process things a lot better. I'm telling you that much.
No, it's insane, guys. Like, and here's the thing, you know, a lot of people don't understand what we have to go through to be able to do this, you know, to be able to have the show. And it's, you know, this isn't a source of income. Right now, we're doing this for entertainment. We're doing this to help, you know, educate and help erase the stigma and things like that. You know, that's solely it. We all have our backgrounds and stuff. You know, Eric, you make your tinctures and stuff like that. You know, Tom, you know, you're growing stuff, you're educating, you're consulting. Well, the food industry is going to be a huge thing soon. I have, you know, a theory that, you know, cannabis can save the food industry. Okay, let's face it. Let me ask you this. If you were given the option of, okay, it's Friday night, you know, COVID, exactly right there. You know, COVID's happening. you're given the option of, I could, watch a Zoom meeting and watch a chef infuse a steak and have the exact same kit and, steak and stuff in front of me. I'm going to do that as a Friday night in type of thing, pop-up dinner in the house type of thing. Learn how to infuse it and eat that gourmet meal right there. That's a lot of work, to be able to put that together. And guess what? I'm doing it. That's right. You heard it here first. So here locally, Deliciously Dope TV is actually going to be working in coalition with a local restaurant. Okay. This restaurant will, remain nameless until everything is pushed out through, but I can get, build up a little bit of excitement. From there, we're going to be able to film more, tutorials and things like that. We're going to be able to do a ton of different things for you guys, bring it to you, raw, kind of get it in your face. Instagram is having a fit today, but that thing keeps you busy. You know what I'm saying? Very busy. So each week we're going to try and do, 100 different people from local cities here and getting to the point to where we can start mailing them nationwide, then worldwide. We got to start small and local. The cool thing is I've actually got different people in different locations nationwide that I can trust as reaches. I can go there and basically do a pop-up there, you know what I'm saying, and just hand deliver everything. It's absolutely 100% legal. You can't mail anything with cannabis in it. It is a federal offense. People that do it get away with it. It is what it is. Remember that. That being said, okay, I have had, a couple of customers where their packages got lost. They got confiscated, X, Y, and Z. I've had a bunch of issues, and I really appreciate people, bringing this to my attention. But at the same time, we are a few people that really aren't getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So it's we sell these products and we make money from these products, but that goes right back into what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Both of these gentlemen can attest to that as well. We're really not making any money, y'all. It's really what it is. And so then when I deal with personal friends, I have to put that into the company. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like it's something that I'm doing. Well, the company don't give a shit about me. So from now on, what I'm going to do is just kick people to the website. That's why I have the damn thing. You know what I mean? And so I guess it's my apology to the people, that have kind of fallen through the cracks. I didn't mean for that to happen. I'm just going to go ahead and publicly say it now. But there's a bunch of stuff that we're working on that's going to be mind-blowing. It's just going to – you got to fall off the horse to learn to ride it the right way. You know what I mean? And this is me falling off the horse. So it's really not that bad, but we'll take care of them all. That being said, Tom, dude, your story alone, okay, people, you got to get that out more. That I know you talk to with certain people, but that's a damn good story, sir. That's very honorable, admirable. It's similar to mine a little bit because, hey, my mom taught me how to cook. I was raised in her restaurant. I was like, all right, fine, Mom. I disagree with what's going on, but I'm going to do it. And, here I am putting weed into food. I know she loves this. You know what I mean? I know she loves it. She loved ganja, man. But it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, dog. I get to go to a bunch of meetings today, so that's going to be fun. But and I know you got a busy day growing. Eric, I know you're always busy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But guys, this has been an amazing show. Tom, I appreciate you coming on, man. We can't thank you enough. You guys check him out. Where can they VermontGrowCoach.com?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, for anybody that wants the tail end of that story, my mom is cancer-free.
Yes.
If that's not enough to tell you that this plant is a healing plant, then I don't know what it is, and you can just remain a disbeliever for the rest of your life for all I care. But you can find me at VermontGrowCoach.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, or you can contact us directly via phone or text at 802-342-5381.
You heard it here first, Vermont Grow Coach. Eric, it's been a pleasure, man. It's always awesome. Again, I appreciate that gift of the wedding cake. It's phenomenal.
Yes, good stuff. It turned out good. And thank you so much, Tom, for coming on. It's been wonderful chatting with you today. Love to have you back.
Absolutely. Nice chatting with you today, Eric. I definitely appreciate you coming on.
As always, I'm your host, Chef Rodney 117 from Deliciously Dope. Peace.